Hey curl friends, welcome back to the Frizzandfrillzz channel. My name is Chloe, and if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of my curly tips and tutorials. Today, we are going to be talking about a newer line called Twist by Ouidad. Now, if you're familiar with Ouidad, you'll know that Twist is actually their newer line of more affordable curly products, and it's a pretty freaking fantastic line. And I'm partnering up with them today because I've talked to you guys about this before, but I want to do a full lineup, and I want to show you what each of these lines is really meant for, who they're meant for, what type of curls they're meant for, and when you really should be using them so you can find the right one specifically for you. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Let's first talk about the Essentials line. The Essentials line that you're seeing here is 3 different products that I have tried and have reviewed. So I want to talk to you about why somebody would use these and maybe why some people wouldn't. Number 1 is the Light Clarifying Shampoo. This product right here, I personally think is something that every curly should have in their curly arsenal, okay? This right here is a fantastic, lightweight, clarifying shampoo that I would recommend bringing into a routine maybe about 1 to 2 times a month. The beautiful thing about the Essentials line and all of their lines, it really tells you right on the bottle how much moisture you should expect to get. You see this right here? That's got 1 drop of moisture. So that tells you it's gonna be very light on the moisturizing end. Whereas, which we'll get to this here in a little bit, if you go to the red bottles, you'll see that they actually have 5 total filled in water droplets, and that means that it's high on the moisture end. And then on the black line, you're going to see about 3 of the drops filled in. So that means it's kind of your middle of the road on moisture. So you really know, depending on what type of style you're getting and how sensitive your hair is to being brought down and over moisturized, or really needing that intense moisture versus needing that lightweight moisture, it really takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. Now going back to the Essentials line, okay? The second product I'm going to talk about here is their Whether or Not conditioner. Now, this conditioner personally was not for me. However, it might be something that you might like if you are wanting something that is a lightweight moisturizing product. So that means maybe you have fine texture, so very thin follicles who actually get weighed down very easily, or maybe you have wavy hair or a mix thereof. This might be a good fit for you. And lastly, but definitely not least, is their Weather Up Gel. You can tell I have loved this product a little bit. It's got gunky stuff all over it. I've probably gone through about half a bottle so far. And I really enjoy this. I don't really get through much of my bottles unless I really enjoy a product. And this one I really do. It's very lightweight. It's kind of actually more of like a serum texture. I'm actually gonna bring it out for you guys. So if we look at this gel is very light, okay? It's not overly thick. It has that kind of serum texture. I mean, it's really the only way. We're gonna just put a little, we can't waste it, obviously. Now, you'll see in this product that it has a lot of the poly, okay? We've talked about this before. Poly at the front means that it's gonna be anti-humidity. This is their Whether or Not collection, so that means it's anti-humidity. If you look on the beginning of the label, I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this, but it has poly right there in the first 2 ingredients, polyquaternium 11, polyquaternium 37, all right? Those are gonna be humidity fighting ingredients. Now, let's get over to that mid-moisture level line. That's anything that is in the black bottles. I'm gonna bring all my bottles here because this is a much larger line than the white ones, okay? Oh God, okay, hold on. Now, let's start in kind of like our wash cycle, right? So we've got the Gentle Oil Infused Shampoo right here. I love that they put pretty much, I think all of their shampoos and conditioners are all in pumps, and I love that so much. So thank you for realizing that curlies need more product normally, and like I don't want a tiny little pump or like a tiny little squeeze bottle that's hard to get my product out of. Like I need some epic amount of product. So I love that they already did that for you. It's not an upgrade in size, it's just their normal size bottles. So the Gentle Oil Infused Shampoo, this is a really nice day-to-day shampoo. If you're washing your hair more regularly, maybe you wash it every other day or every 3 days, etc. then this is going to be a really good one to just be using on a very regular basis. This is something I would use in my routine a lot. Now, something else I want to note is if you look at the back, it kind of gives you a breakdown of everything you really need to know about that specific product. So you got right here, we talked about the droplets, but we didn't talk about these two right here. So it's telling you all of the good and none of the bad, right? None of the ugly, it says. So on this specific product, it's saying that it has jojoba oil, chamomile extract, vegetable proteins, and panthenol. None of the ugly, aka mineral oils, petrolatum, parabens, phthalates, harsh sulfates, D4, D5, D6 silicones. So it is not silicone free. So I want you guys to know that. Just because it says it's not hard, it doesn't have some of the silicones, doesn't mean that it's 100% silicone free. I'm perfectly fine with that. I actually like some of my silicones because I think it helps my hair stay better for longer and shinier for longer. So I'm perfectly fine with that. Now, the next product we're going to talk about is their Frizzandfrillzz Deep Conditioning Hair Mask. All right. This mask I really, really liked. Okay. This is definitely something I would keep in my personal curly hair arsenal. I think it did a fantastic job. Some of their main oils and butters that they're using here are shea butter, coconut oil, jojoba oil, almond oil, and grapeseed oil. Sometimes I have issues with almond oil and I don't know why. Sometimes it makes me itchy. This one didn't. So I really enjoyed this. I can open it up and I love it when a deep conditioner comes in a tub because I can just like scoop it out. So this is what that looks like here. Really enjoyed, and oh, it smells really good. It's pretty light, I feel like, on the scent. It's not overpowering, so definitely a fan of that. Now, as we get into the stylers, let's talk about these two main stylers in this part of the collection. We have the Curls Goals Leave-In, and then we have the Weather Up Lotion, which is a styling lotion. This is basically like a styling cream. I know brands try to get a little fancy with the different words, and especially in a larger line, you have multiple curl creams or stylers, etc. But this is basically your curl lotion is equivalent to your curl cream. Now, this leave-in that's right here, this is going to be your first product that you take out of the shower. It's going to be pretty lightweight. If I spray this into my hand, you're going to see that it's very, very light. It's kind of watery and milky. So you're just going to get a very light amount of moisture from that leave-in. So I don't recommend that maybe for somebody on a wash day that has a thicker texture or like a drier texture that really is thirsty. I would recommend this for a texture like mine if you are going to use this for a refresher. This is perfect for refreshing. Then we move back over to the Super Light Styling Lotion. This lotion, I actually thought, I was surprised. Oh, I'm like opening it up this way. It actually can go like this. So if we look at this really quick, you're going to see it's actually quite a bit thicker. And I thought it did a really fantastic job of adding a light amount, especially for a refresh, a light amount of moisture that, again, we're just going to put it back in the hair. Okay. It added a really nice amount of moisture without being weighed down. So really enjoyed that. Would absolutely recommend it. Did a fantastic job. Added an extra little bit of shine. Definitely a keeper. And I would say this would go great for waves, curls, coils. Would recommend this for pretty much all hair types. I would go light-handed if you feel like your curls can get weighed down easily. And then I would go more heavy-handed if you know that your curls can take on the moisture and they are very, very thirsty. And then we have the last two from the Black Bottle line, and that is their dry shampoo and dry conditioner. I love that they came out with dry shampoo and dry conditioner for curly specific hair. The dry shampoo, I used it today. It worked really beautifully. I love a good dry shampoo. You don't hear as many curlies talking about dry shampoo because I think most of the time you don't feel like you need it or it adds buildup, etc. But personally, I think it adds the right kind of buildup that I personally want. I want a little bit of extra buildup by my roots because I want a little extra va-va-va-voom. Right? So this did a really good job of that. Plus, it dried up any nastiness from my workout earlier this morning as well. So it's a really nice double duty for volume and just getting any of that nastiness out of your roots. Now, onto the conditioning spray. This is actually a pretty cool product. So when I just sprayed a little bit on the back of my hand, and you can see the texture here. It's a lot thicker, actually, than the leave-in conditioner. So this is a really nice way to add that little bit of hydration for a refresh. And it's actually made from coconut juice and keratin. Those are their two main callouts, as well as quite a few other ingredients. But it's a really nice one if you just need, you know how sometimes our ends get really dry? This would be a perfect thing to just like spray on those ends and get a little bit of extra moisture right where you need it very quickly with a little extra shine. And now the last line we're gonna talk about is your red line. And this is gonna be your ultimate moisture line, all right? So this is where I'm talking to probably more of my type 3, type 4 curlies, maybe a type 2 if your curls and waves are super, super thick and really need that moisture, or maybe you've gone through and highlighted and now your curls are just like really needing that moisture. That is who this is for. So AKA, this is my fave. This one and they're all, I really like certain parts of each of these lines for very specific reasons, but I think I might say that this is my favorite line of all of them. It's really hard to commit to that, but we'll go with it. So to start, we're gonna talk about the Big Rich and Dreamy. Okay, this is their co-wash. So in reality, the co-wash, y'all, it is thick, all right? It is a thick co-wash. It is fantastic. It is highly moisturizing. I absolutely love it. Now, with that said, I do not normally bring a co-wash into my routine every single week. I'll maybe bring in a co-wash the wash after I do a deep clarifying. So say you use this, right, the clarifying, then maybe in the next wash you'd use a co-wash to kind of balance that back out a little bit. But whenever you co-wash, I also recommend doing a deep conditioner, which is where you would bring in that Sunday feels. The co-wash here is using aloe vera, rice protein, shea butter, and ginkgo extract. I cannot recommend this enough. It was really good. Really, really good. Then you have something that is a really pretty cool product. I really like when lines do this. They actually made it a 2-in-1 conditioner and a primer. So what that means is that conditioner that you can use as a leave-in. So it's really very hydrating. I'm just gonna open it up like this and like twist off the cap. So if you look here, right, you can see just how thick this conditioner is. I would absolutely recommend this to anybody who really needs that extra hydration. Like I said, I really like the red line. Now, if you remember, we had a styling lotion, right? So this one's gonna be a little bit thinner, but still gives a nice amount of moisture. Then we're gonna amp it up if we want additional moisture to this Boss Bounce Light as Air Buildable Styling Cream. I'll show you the label here, all right? If you look at this, well, she's not moving, right? She is thick. Very thick. Now, I really like this, and what I was really surprised by with how thick it was, I would have thought that it would have weighed my curls down more, and it didn't. I actually had amazing volume on wash day. So, but this is one that if you have a very thick texture, this is another one that I would highly recommend. And the last one we're gonna talk about is the Curl Rain Miracle Oil. Now, this one right here, it does say that it is 5 water droplets, so really high in moisture. So I'm just gonna pop a little bit into my hand, just so you guys can see, okay? It's a very, in my opinion, this feels more like a lightweight oil. I do not think that this is an oil that's really going to weigh things down. So I'm just gonna pop that in my hair, add a little extra shine, okay? A little extra oil never hurt me, all right? I love extra oil in my hair. I normally add extra oil to my hair on a daily basis because I have very naturally dry hair. Now, the main oils that they're using in here are almond oil, they're using safflower oil, shea butter, coconut oil, jojoba seed oil, grapeseed oil, all oils that I personally really like. So this right here is going to be a fantastic thing that you could actually use. I would use this one of 2 ways normally. I would use this either right at the beginning when you have very wet hair, and I would bring it in right on the ends to add a little extra moisture to those, but don't bring it up top because it's going to weigh your curls down. So just focused on the ends. And then if you wanted to, you could also add it in as your last step and scrunch out any crunch and just add that little bit of extra softness and shine to your curls at the end. And that would be the same way that you would do on a refresh, just kind of like how I showed you how I just did that right there with that excess oil. I would just bring that in and just add that little bit of extra shine that you would want. And guys, that is the full twist line. I hope this helps you figure out kind of what is going to work best for you and your curl type and your hair type so that you can make the most educated decision when you are purchasing your products. I have, of course, added all the links down below so you guys can check out everything we've talked about today. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button below so you never miss any more of my tutorials and tips for all of the curls. And do not forget to hit the like button so that we have other curlies who can see this video as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you next week. Bye. Bye guys.